Stop blaming willpower. Your scattered mind is not a personal failing, it's a supply chain. The Buddha named 5 ancient saboteurs: sensual craving, ill will, sloth, torpor, restlessness, worry, and skeptical doubt. Modern life didn't defeat them, it industrialized them. Big tech bought craving. Media franchised ill will. The wellness industry white labeled torpor. Productivity influencers package restlessness as optimization. And academia weaponizes doubt into a lifestyle. You call it being busy. I call it 5 hindrances as a business model. Here's the heresy: your mind isn't weak, it's well trained by algorithms whose quarterly targets require your inattention. If desire equals dwell time, they'll make a slot machine out of your limbic system. If rage equals reach, they'll turn your ethics into fireworks. If fatigue equals compliance, they'll sell you self-care scented like surrender. If anxiety equals clicks, they'll stream futures you can't fix. And if doubt equals dependence, they'll drip feed you frameworks so you never ship. This series is not a lullaby. I'm going to drag each hindrance into 2025, rip off its robe, and show the API it uses to jack your focus. I will not flatter your overthinking. I will not bless your sensitivity. I will not kiss the ring of your standards. If your practice can't beat an app, it's cosplay. We're going to name the hooks, expose the loops, and make the only metric that matters non-negotiable: time to clarity and time to action under pressure. I'm Silent Flame. If you're addicted to your fog, get out now. If you're ready to see who's cashing checks from your attention, sit down. The audit starts here. Classical label: Kamachanda, thirst for pleasant sights, sounds, tastes, touches, thoughts. Modern translation: scroll, shop, snack, swipe, stream, fantasize, repeat. The genius of the feed is that it sells premature reward, the micro sip that keeps the macro thirst alive. You never drink, you lick. Chasing becomes identity. I'm a foodie slash traveler slash cinephile slash aesthete. No problem, until your seeking out competes your seeing. Mechanics, novelty spikes, dopamine, prediction error, intermittent reinforcement wires the loop. The For You page reverse engineers your limbic profile faster than you can say mindful. You don't want this video or that shoe. You want the next. That's the product. Not pleasure, but anticipation rental. Symptoms your own. You experience art as collecting, sex as performance, food as content, nature as backdrop. The present acquires a slippery texture. You're always half a second ahead, biting the future, bored with the bite you have. On a cushion, your mindfulness is a waiting room for the hit to resume. Off cushion, your budget bleeds to tiny lights you barely remember buying. Craving's lie is tender. You deserve a treat. Truth is colder. The treat deserves you. Your hours, money, sleep, presence. In the sutters, desire fogs perception until a corpse looks sweet. In the timeline, filters turn debt into glow. The antidote isn't puritanism, it's precision. Desire has a job. Aim it. Pleasure that stabilizes you earns its keep. Pleasure that dilates the loop is a landlord. If your treats don't improve your post-treat behavior, you weren't kind to yourself. You were harvested. Classical Vyapada, aversion, hostility. In 2025, it's packaged as moral clarity with a fuse. Platforms discovered that anger travels. It's shareable, identity confirming, and metabolically loud. Every day you wake to a buffet of enemy faces arranged for maximum charge. You tell yourself you're defending the good. Your body doesn't care. It's just juicing on heat. Rage feels righteous because it simplifies. The world collapses to clean lines. Us slash them pure/rotten. Discernment dies, disgust takes the throne. You don't argue, you excommunicate, you don't serve, you signal. The timeline becomes a temple where the holiest sacrament is contempt. Meanwhile, your nervous system corrodes, sleep shortens, breath shallows, attention frays, and compassion, actual help for non abstract people, gets crowded out. Ill will's seduction it dresses as care. I'm angry because I love. Then why are the nearest humans getting your leftovers? Why does your partner receive the dregs while your enemies get the feast of your focus? The Buddha's indictment isn't pious, it's practical. Hatred cannot see clearly. You mistake tribal adrenaline for truth. You confuse burning for light. Audit. Does your anger lower harm outside your mirror within a week? If yes, keep it wielded clean, time boxed, outcome anchored. If not, it's content for a machine that eats your days and sells your heat to advertisers. Outrage without logistics is performance art. If your timeline victories don't translate to boring protection for real bodies, you're LARPing as a guardian while the hindrance cashes out. Tanamida is the slump, syrupy mind, heavy body, lights dimming. In our era, it wears a robe labeled self-care, bath bombs and soft life reels pasted over exhaustion run by predatory schedules, blue light and debt. The industry sells sedation while the system steals sleep. You don't restore, you numb. Torpor isn't rest. Rest returns bandwidth. Torpor shrinks it. Real rest makes colors brighter, speech cleaner, decisions faster. Torpor makes preferences foggy and turns no into maybe later, into never. On a cushion, it looks like noble stillness. Zoom in and you'll find collapse, posture melted, breath shallow, attention half out. Off cushion, it's I need a little treat to get going. 6 hours later, you're ankle deep in crumbs and reels, swearing tomorrow will be structured. This hindrance thrives when we moralize, grind, and aestheticize collapse. We refuse the boring fix, sleep, food, sunlight, boundaries, and buy spiritual filters for a fried nervous system. Then we congratulate ourselves on being sensitive. The tradition's diagnosis is brutal. Torpor is a parasite that eats your vows while whispering lullabies. It makes compassion look like fatigue and wisdom like gray. You want to be gentle? Good. Be gentle with your circadian. Be fierce with your inputs. Torpor ends when recovery is on the calendar and stimulation pays rent. If the show or snack doesn't leave you more available, it's a loan shark. Tenderness that returns capacity is love. Tenderness that deepens collapse is self-erasure with candles. Choose. Udaka Kukuka splits you down the middle, agitation plus remorse/fret. In modern drag, it looks like multi-tab optimization and posture policing your past. You worship tools, tweak workflows, buy courses, change note apps, restructure your morning routine, anything except ship. Then at night, you rerun the tape with shame, not action, autopsy. Restlessness is the hindrance Silicon Valley calls hustle. Your mind lunges at everything and lands on nothing. Worry is the hindrance therapy culture mistakes for insight. You replay the wound and label it work. Together, they produce busy despair, calendars full, soul empty, output weirdly flat. This pair loves caffeine, loves comparison, loves novelty. It hates commitment. It whispers that the perfect system is one video away. The perfect apology is one more draft away. The Buddha's fix wasn't mystical. He smashed the loop with present tense tasks and bounded care. Translation: Pick the one thing reality would respect, do it now, and limit your penance to repair that lands in someone's life, not ruminations that bathe your ego in moral light. If your optimization doesn't shorten time to finish, it's a hobby. If your regrets don't become restitution, they're theater. Restlessness and worry are cowards wearing lab coats. Fold the lab, put the next noun on the table, touch it, finish it, then breathe like a mammal for 2 minutes. You're not behind, you're elsewhere. Come back. Vichikicha isn't curiosity, it's paralysis with philosophy. You call it critical thinking. I'm just asking questions. I have high standards, but your questions never end and your standards never ship. Doubt's job is to keep you safe from contact with risk, with intimacy, with failure you can't spin. It flatters your intelligence while it starves your life. In the content economy, doubt is monetized as endless compare. Every lineage, teacher, paper, protocol passes through your feed until your head becomes a museum of almosts. You don't practice, you curate, you don't love, you review, you don't commit, you hover. Skepticism that never puts skin in the game isn't rigor. It's cowardice cosplaying as discernment. Ancient move. The Buddha didn't argue forever. He tested. If a view reduced harm, kept promises, cleaned speech, and made strangers safer, he kept it. If not, he dropped it, even if it glittered. That's not anti-intellectual, that's empirical. Modern doubt hates that because it ends its reign. Once you adopt outcome metrics, the thrill of being right gives way to the work of being useful. Keep your questions, then wager. Pick a teacher with governance, a method with logs, a community with budgets and grievance channels. Practice long enough to generate data. If it fails, leave without drama. If it works, double down without apology. Doubt that never risks is just fear trying to look smart. They rarely attack alone. The modern mind gets hit with a combo. Craving opens the door, dopamine nibble. Restlessness rushes in, tab splitting. Ill will supplies fuel, outrage. Torpor drapes the room, exhaustion. And doubt locks the exit, analysis paralysis. That's the pipe. Nibble, scatter, burn, slump, stall. Platforms design for it. Workplaces normalize it. Spiritual spaces perfume it. Watch the choreography. A ping lights up desire. New drop, new vid. You lunge, restlessness. You see them winning ill will. You stew until your energy tanks torpor. Then you decide to research the best way to fix it or doubt. Hours gone, nothing repaired. The five kings bow. You refresh, repeat. The antidote isn't a single hack, it's an order of operations. The kernel is arousal. If your body is spiking or crashing, your brilliance is a spectator. So the first cut is somatic, breath, posture, light movement, then scope, one noun, one verb, one promise. Then time, a short window you respect. Then truth, if anger is needed, tie it to an outcome. If pleasure is needed, ensure it returns capacity. If doubt is loud, demand a bet. The hindrances hate sequence. They thrive in blur. Culture won't help you. It profits from your fog. Build your own ops. Inputs with friction, outputs with receipts. Rest that's scheduled, not stolen. Governance around charisma. Metrics that count what a timeline can't. Repair, speed, promise, keeping, strangers, safer. If that sounds unromantic, good. Romance is how the hindrances sell you beautiful failure. We're buying ugly freedom. Stop calling them tendencies. They're predators you feed with your hours and then blame for your hunger. Craving is not a treat, it's a tax. Ill will is not integrity, it's a drug. Torpor is not kindness, it's theft. Restlessness is not ambition, it's avoidance. Doubt is not rigor. It's a shield you hide behind to die interesting. Here's the vow I want on your wall, not your feed. I will not rent my nervous system to products designed to scatter it. If pleasure doesn't return capacity, it doesn't get paid. I will not confuse heat with help. Anger that doesn't land in policy, protection, or repair is performance. I will treat rest as sacred logistics, not emergency triage for preventable burnout. Recovery is scheduled like prayer. I will break busyness into nouns and verbs, tools that don't shorten time to finish go in the toy box. I will convert doubt into a bet. I'll pick a lane, gather data, and be brave enough to be wrong in public. If your practice can't outfight a feed, it isn't practice. If your compassion can't survive a budget, it isn't compassion. If your focus can't live under fluorescent lights and cruel timelines, it isn't focus, it's fantasy. The Buddha didn't ask you to be pure, he asked you to be free. Freedom looks like boring reliability under pressure. The five hindrances hate that because it's the one thing they can't monetize. I'm silent flame. If you need a blessing, here it is. You're not broken, you're captured. Walk yourself out. Start with the next noun on your desk. Then go teach your body the feeling of finishing. The hindrances will scream. Let them close the loop.